What's up, guys? King J coming to you once again live from hell. Now, I was wrong. I was wrong about something, about a video that you probably haven't even watched, but I made a video called Coomers and Simps. I really liked that video. It was a fun video, right? And but I was in a completely different mindset then. And the thing is, when my old stuff, or the first two videos that I made, I was in a very negative place mentally, emotionally. But my content, my focus was positivity. It was like to uplift me. It was for me to just vent and sort of, but I'm not a naturally angry person. I'm like a naturally depressed person, right? But it's not natural. You know, I've realized so many different things that have taken my mindset to other places. So today I want to talk about how I was wrong about Coomers and Simps, and not in the way that you might think, okay? I'm not here to bash the way that things are going in social media, but it is something that I greatly notice. So basically, my point in the other video was there's no problem with Coomers and Simps, right? And really, in theory, if you are completely aware of yourself and you're aware of your emotional state, if you're then you wouldn't have a problem. But I do think that there is problems rooted in the idea of simping over someone, because what it is it's putting someone on a pedestal. It's elevating someone. And the thing is, to elevate one thing automatically makes you lower. So a perfect example, the one that I brought up, was Belle Delphine. Now look, Belle Delphine is a very attractive girl. She's cool. You know what I mean? I completely support all her endeavors. Porn was a big part of my life, you know, since I was young. I'd studied it all, but I was always very into homemade stuff, right? But the thing is that she sort of created an entire genre of this gamer girl, and she dominated that, and it appeals. Oh man, I don't even want to say it. It does appeal to the modern male fantasy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's really cool. And I think it's cool that girls are starting to recognize their power. I love that. Because, yeah, girls are powerful. But the thing is, we give them that power when we simp. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are feeling less, if you are putting something on a pedestal and feeling less, then I don't think that's okay. Everybody should feel empowered. Men, women, everybody. This isn't an issue between how women do things and how men do things. This is an issue of the self. Because girls do it too, with these e-boys and all that, right? So if you are simping over someone, you are looking at them with eyes of a fan, you know? And they might not even be a person who's particularly famous. So just like in general life, you see a pretty girl, you see a hot guy, you're going to look at them with a different perspective. You're going to imply things about them. You're going to create a story for them. And most of the time, that story is going to be very different than reality. And you're always going to end up disappointed when that person isn't perfect, because nobody's perfect. So we see these people and they're giving us this persona on the internet, and it's hot or it's attractive. There's some attraction there, but you're elevating it to a status it doesn't need to be, because people are just people. Doesn't matter what they do, doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what influence they have. People are just people. And that is where we take the power back. You give things power. Your perspective is what gives things meaning. And before, I saw girls as this entity, this like, it's always like there were goddesses, and there was average girls, and then there was girls that I didn't care to look at. But I always felt bad about that. But it's because I was only looking on the surface level. Everything was skin deep. And genetics were the main thing that I was focused on, which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because then we're not open to actually building communication with people. We're not open to actually finding out people's interests, people's hobbies, people's lives. You know, the only reason we put up, and that's what I'm saying, we put up with girls that play games and all that is because they're pretty, right? And a lot of times I don't think they fully realize that if we're watching someone like Amaranth, we don't care if she is good at anything she's doing, right? It's not what we're there for. She's aware of that, right? But I think a lot of girls want to be liked for more than what they look like, and they don't realize that by putting themselves in that position to be objectified, they're almost sacrificing any other way anyone's going to look at them. Like, I agree 100%. Girls should be powerful for what they look like. They should use what they have. I still stand by that 100%. OnlyFans, I have no problem with any of that. The only thing that I have a problem with is the realization that, as for me, and I feel like I could identify with a lot of dudes, is it made me feel less. Like I couldn't date a girl like Belle Delphine. She would never want me. Why not? What is so unspecial about me, and what is so special about her? We add too much value to things. We add value to things that are intangible. We add value to subscriber counts and followers and likes, and all that's bullshit. All of that is bullshit. So at the end of the day, it's when you feel complete love for yourself, you're going to see that reflected back, and you're going to realize you don't need to put anything higher than you. And you don't need to value anything more than yourself. There's no girl that's too hot for you. There's no guy that's too hot for you. There's no guy that's too good for you. You are beautiful and awesome just the way you are. Now, here's the thing about cooming. That was the simp portion. I have been detaching from so many different things. I'm on a Buddhist rampage right now. I've been detaching from collections that I had that I was obsessed with, games that I would play that I thought I needed to max out everything on, ideas that I had about myself, beliefs, and people that I felt that I needed to please and rely on. I was a big pleaser, a people pleaser. I realized that is not okay, because I was already accepted by them. I was the one that couldn't accept myself. So the thing about cooming is, like, my sexuality was like unlocked at like a young age, and this is probably a problem, definitely. And I started watching porn way too young also, and it just never ended. And I never imagined, it's like if I started smoking cigarettes in the 5th grade, you know what I mean? And I'm smoking cigarettes now, and I'm like, this probably isn't good for me, but I've been doing it forever. I don't know how to stop, right? So I was very proud of it. I was very proud because I thought, yeah, this is cool. This is like my personality. This is who I am. Then I realized this isn't positive, because it's building up all these ideas in my head of what things need to be, and it's totally detached from reality. So I had to let all that go. And it was the hardest process because, you know, it's weird. I was able to give up soda. I mean, I would drink 3 Cokes a day. I gave that up. I'm only drinking water now. I've lost 13 pounds in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. It's been an awesome transformation. I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. Everything is getting in alignment. My mind, my body, my emotional state, my soul, everything is getting in alignment. But the one thing that's been the hardest to attach, because I don't want to let it go, is cooming, right? And the porn is not a problem. I was able to delete all my bookmarks, which is big for me. I unfollowed every girl that I was following that I was simping over completely. I'll just be open and honest. When I went to my TikTok, I went to my followers. I was following like 980 some. When I unfollowed every chick that I had, I was left with 18. Now that was when I realized, whoa. And it was almost like I was following these chicks, collecting them, just like a Pokemon card. I felt this fear, if I let them go, man, what if I don't remember their name? And I'll never see that face again. There's millions, billions of girls all over the world. If you just leave your little house, you'll see them in the streets. It doesn't matter what city you live in. There's beautiful girls. There's girls that are so beautiful that they could be models and they could be movie stars. The only difference is that they're not. They're just people, and everybody is just a person. We do not need to add any more value to somebody. They should be accepted just for being them, and more importantly, You should accept yourself just for who you are. When you do that, you will see that reflected back to you, and you will feel just empowered all the time, because you know none of that's going to matter. It doesn't matter what kind of girl you can get. You don't need a girl. It doesn't matter what kind of boyfriend you can get. You don't need a guy. You are you. You are love by yourself. It's an amazing thing. And then only then you can be open to love, and you could actually love, because one of the craziest things that I realized is that love cannot be given or received. Love, it only can exist in you unconditionally, and then can be reflected back to you. And the perfect example is like a relationship between a mother and a child, or a father and a child. Once that and I know there's all these disconnects in family, you know what I mean? There's a lot of issues, but in an idea, the reason why a parent's love is unconditional, it's not just because you're their kid, it's because you're a reflection of them. They look at you as a piece of them, because you came from them, right? You came from your parent. And so they're always going to look at you like that. There's no way to escape that. So that love is always going to be unconditional. And the thing is, you are also yourself. Nobody is you. Nobody can make you be anything other than you. So just on that reason alone, you deserve all your love, and you deserve to treat yourself like your best friend. You deserve to treat yourself like the perfect partner that you would want. And then you'll see that everything else is easier, because you're not trying to please anyone to get anything from them. You don't have to get anything from anyone. You are good on your own. And so for me, it was the hardest part was detaching the sexual part, because it was all connected. I felt that the ideas of sex were connected to love in like a big crazy, and I think they are. I do think that they are, but I needed to let go of that. I need to let go of that. And now that's my thing, is no fap. I don't know the science of this, and I don't really want to care about the science of it in a way. I don't know if it's unhealthy or if it's healthy, beneficial or not, but I do want to give it a shot, like an experiment. But dude, I keep breaking. Like day 2, I go through one day, and the next day I'm over here gripping the sheets like a drug addict. I need it, and it's just it's been a ride, but it's been a beneficial ride. And I don't think it's because if anyone's listening to this, you're probably just getting to know me. This is a complete 180 in personality. This is a complete 180 in character. This is the stuff that I felt defined me as a person. This is the stuff that I thought was funny, that I thought was cool, that I thought was going to get me the attention that I wanted. Now I see things in a completely different light. Completely. Now, the main thing you have to do to get over these things, and then you could still enjoy these things, but in moderation and without the need, without the necessity. And that's the thing. The way to break off of need and want is to detach. You don't need anything, anyone, any belief. You are yourself. Your beliefs can change. They did for me overnight. It was almost overnight. And now I'm a completely different specimen. I'm a different beast. I'm built differently now. It's a beautiful thing. I'm on a whole nother level. And if you feel like you want to be on a whole nother level subconsciously, or you just feel that inside of you, because that's the thing, thoughts are different than feelings. Thoughts can lie to you. Thoughts are what lie to everybody around you. Your feelings, you cannot hide from those. You cannot change those. What you have to do is you have to feel it, process it, dig deep, understand what's the trauma you have, what is really eating you up inside. You have to address it. You have to hug your inner child. Once you hug your inner child, they're going to thank you, and they're going to walk away, and you're going to feel a little bit more mature. And that's the thing about guys. I don't know about girls. I want to talk to a girl and different girls and get different perspectives. I've always been interested in understanding women and girls, and just understanding their mindset, how they see guys. I'm very, very interested in that. But one thing about guys is, like, I'm 26 now, so I'm like not a kid at all. I'm a grown ass man. But there's something weird about guys where we just stay in this mindset like we're still teenagers for like a long time, and something has to snap us out of that. Girls mature a lot faster, like a lot faster. So they're on like a different grind before us, right? But the thing is even if we can realize that, it's like almost instantaneous. We can change, and for the betterment, because you can't stay stuck. You can't stay stuck. The trends are going to change. The youth does dictate what's popular, right? But you don't have to stay stuck. As a matter of fact, like a 17-year-old kid wishes they had freedoms. And then when you have these freedoms, you wish you had structure. You know, but the thing is, you have to give yourself that structure. I mean, you're not going to school at a certain time anymore. You don't have a bus picking you up. You don't have all these obligations that are given to you. You have to create your own. You have to create your own routines that work for you, and don't feel fixated on having to do everything the same way all the time. You have to have fun with it. You have to just be yourself and enjoy yourself once again. But the first step in getting over all that is detachment, taking people off of pedestals. And you don't have to put yourself on one. As a matter of fact, putting yourself on a pedestal, that's an ego. That is you fooling yourself. That is you running away from your problems and telling yourself that you're better than it, that you can beat it. When in reality, the way to beat it is to accept who you are, not run from who you are. You have to love yourself even at your worst. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love who I am right now. Nothing needs to change. I don't need this to be happy. I don't need to get the perfect body. I don't need to get the perfect partner. I don't need to get the perfect career. I just love me for me. And once you actually step into those beliefs, you're going to see everything starts to change. It's a beautiful thing. So I had a whole plan of the videos that I wanted to be making. I had a whole idea of the persona that I wanted to have, this fake persona. But I just feel very grateful, and I just feel very happy that I'm just here being myself, open, free. It's just me. It's just me and a microphone, and I love it. Thank you. If you made it to 17 minutes and 18 seconds, thank you so much. It's a kind of a longer one. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. In the next one, I'm going to be talking about taking people off of pedestals. Okay? Don't put the pussy on a pedestal. Don't put the dick and balls on a pedestal. Love you for you. Thank you for watching.